I'm Romeo St.Pierre, and this is History Notes, July 29th. America expands its commitment in Vietnam. On this day in United States Army history, July 29th, 1965, the United States was entering a new phase of the Vietnam War. Just one day after President Lyndon B. Johnson announced a major expansion of America's military commitment, Army units across the country began preparing for what would become the largest overseas deployment since World War II. President Johnson had authorized an increase of U.S. forces in Vietnam from approximately 75,000 troops to 125,000 by the end of 1965, with additional deployments expected. The announcement marked a turning point. What had begun as a mission centered on military advisors was rapidly becoming a full-scale ground war. For the United States Army, the impact was immediate. Combat divisions received deployment orders, training accelerated, and installations across the country shifted into high gear. Thousands of soldiers prepared to leave for Southeast Asia, many uncertain of what awaited them in the jungles of South Vietnam. The Army also faced an enormous logistical challenge. Weapons, vehicles, helicopters, ammunition, medical supplies, and construction equipment had to be transported halfway around the world. Engineers expanded ports and airfields, while transportation units worked around the clock to sustain the growing American presence. As new units arrived in Vietnam, the nature of the war changed. Instead of primarily advising South Vietnamese forces, Army soldiers increasingly conducted large-scale combat operations against the North Vietnamese Army and Viet Cong. Helicopter assaults, long-range patrols, search and destroy missions, and air-mobile tactics became the hallmark of Army operations. The conflict demanded a new style of warfare. Dense jungle, rugged mountains, and an elusive enemy tested soldiers in ways unlike previous wars. Small unit leadership, adaptability, and endurance became just as important as firepower. For many young Americans, the summer of 1965 marked the beginning of a generation's service in Vietnam. Over the next decade, more than 2 million U.S. Army soldiers would serve in the conflict, demonstrating extraordinary courage under some of the most difficult combat conditions in American military history. For the United States Army, July 29th stands as a reminder of a pivotal moment when the nation's commitment to Vietnam expanded dramatically. It was the beginning of an era that would shape Army doctrine, transform military aviation, influence small unit tactics, and leave a lasting impact on the soldiers who answered their country's call. I'm Romeo St. Pierre. Thanks for listening, and be sure to hit the like and subscribe button.